To answer your question simply, yes, there is a significant amount of evidence that Jesus of Nazareth was a real person who lived in the first century. While people often debate his divinity or the miracles attributed to him, the vast majority of historians, both secular and religious, agree that he was a historical figure. The evidence generally falls into three categories. 1. Non-Christian historical records. One of the strongest reasons historians believe Jesus existed is that he is mentioned by writers who were not his followers, and, in some cases, were even hostile to his movement. Flavius Josephus, circa 93 AD, a Jewish historian who wrote about the history of the Jewish people. He mentions Jesus twice, famously referring to him as a wise man, and mentioning the execution of James, the brother of Jesus who was called Christ. Tacitus, circa 116 AD, a Roman historian considered one of the most accurate of the ancient world. He recorded that Christus was executed by the sentence of the procurator Pontius Pilate during the reign of Tiberius. Pliny the Younger, circa 112 AD, a Roman governor who wrote letters to Emperor Trajan, describing early Christians who sang hymns to Christ as to a god. 2. Early Christian writings. Beyond the Bible, the sheer volume of early writings about Jesus is unusual for a commoner of that time. The Pauline epistles, written by Paul the Apostle within 20 to 30 years of Jesus' death. Paul mentions meeting Jesus' brother James and his lead disciple Peter. The Gospels. While these are religious texts, historians treat them as ancient biographies. The fact that multiple accounts, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, were written within decades of his life provides a multiple attestation of his existence. 3. Archaeological context. While there is no physical artifact from Jesus himself, like a house or a signed letter, archaeology has confirmed the world he lived in. The Pilate Stone. Discovered in 1961, this inscription proves that Pontius Pilate was indeed the prefect of Judea, just as the Gospels claim. The Caiaphas Ossuary, a burial box found in Jerusalem, believed to belong to the high priest who presided over Jesus' trial. Pool of Siloam. Archaeologists recently uncovered the actual pool in Jerusalem, where the Gospel of John says Jesus healed a blind man. Summary of consensus. Historians generally agree on two bedrock facts about Jesus. 1. He was baptized by John the Baptist. 2. He was crucified by order of the Roman prefect Pontius Pilate. The Jesus myth theory, the idea that he never existed at all, is rejected by almost all serious scholars today, because it's much harder to explain how a massive movement started so quickly, based on a person who didn't exist in a time when witnesses were still alive. Would you like me to look into more details about a specific archaeological find, or perhaps what other ancient cultures said about him?